And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Thank you for joining us today on the Alaska Weather TV show. I'm meteorologist Emily Niebuhr. It's July 27th, 2023. You can reach us at 1-855-937-4977 at weather.gov/Alaska, or you can email me at emily.niebuhr@noaa.gov. Let's take a look at our hazards across the state today. Fortunately, no advisories, watches, or warnings. There is a special weather statement out for the Fairbanks and Tanana River Valley areas. Due to all the warm weather lately, there's a lot of glacial melt. So if you're going to be on a river that is glacially fed, river levels might be a bit high. So again, it's not at advisory level yet, but something certainly to be aware of if you are going to be out on your boat in those areas. Here's a picture of yesterday's lightning. Wednesday, July 26th. You can see across much of the interior, a lot of lightning, a dramatic shift in our weather patterns from earlier this summer where we haven't had much lightning or fires. And so this is courtesy of the Alaska Interagency Coordination Center. And hot off the press, they just provided this for us for an update as of Thursday, July 27th, that thunderstorms across the interior have sparked numerous wildfires. Hot, mostly dry weather will allow fires to grow, mainly in the center and eastern interior. Fires in remote areas are allowed to burn, so expect more smoke, mainly in the Tanana and Upper Yukon Valley areas. And for our outlook, more thunderstorms and hot weather in eastern interior this weekend will lead to more ignitions, while existing fires will continue to burn. So definitely be careful if you're going to be out camping or having a fire this weekend. Conditions are going to be dry in some areas. Here's your fire danger. Again, you can see across much of the western portions of the state as well in the low risk in terms of wet or dry fuels. As we go towards more of the interior where we've had some of those thunderstorm strikes, we are seeing that fuels are medium to high in terms of risk for fire. Let's look at the latest satellite imagery. You can see we have multiple systems impacting the Bering Sea. We have one in the center portion of the Bering, and we have one south of the central Aleutian Islands, as well as the Alaska Peninsula. Also, a frontal system associated with this is bringing widespread showers along the coast. And you can see a few thunderstorms popping up in central portions of Alaska near Fairbanks. So we're already starting to see a few thunderstorms pop up. And that's associated somewhat with this frontal system. You can see the low that we just saw spinning has a front that reaches across much of the state. We have a second low pressure system just over the central Aleutian Islands that's bringing precipitation to the Alaska Peninsula and even all the way up towards Kodiak Island. And again, those thunderstorms popping up under that interior trough. For tonight, that trough stays mainly stagnant, so expect some of those showers and thunderstorms to continue into evening hours, especially in topography, especially along the Brooks Range. Meanwhile, that low pressure system is going to drift into the Bristol Bay area. So a wet night along much of the Bristol Bay and western Bering Sea coast. Meanwhile, this ridge moves well into the central Bering Sea with that low pressure system drifting north as this ridge butts in. So again, that front will continue to bring rain showers across Chukchi Sea areas as well. Meanwhile, that ridge drifts a little further toward the Panhandle. Friday, that low remains a little stagnant and its front remains draped over Kodiak Island. So wet days across Kodiak Island and across much of western Alaska as this low drifts in the region as well and dissipates. We also will have another round of showers and thunderstorms Friday with that trough remaining well in place, especially along mountain areas. Meanwhile, this ridge starts to dominate much of the Bering and stays in place, and we have a new low developing far to the west. That's going to drift slightly towards the Bering Sea, and we have a new low pressure system coming in out from the Pacific. And that low will drift north and bring showers to the north coast for your Saturday. Meanwhile, this low begins to push into the Gulf of Alaska and bring showers along the Kenai and North Gulf of Alaska coast. Here's your thunderstorm outlook. You can see widespread across much of interior Alaska, and as we were seeing some of those tiny showers starting to pop up, even though it's early in the afternoon. By Friday, we have a similar viewpoint. What you kind of see on Thursday is what you might see on Friday. Widespread showers and thunderstorms, especially along the mountains. And Saturday, we're expecting to have widespread thunderstorms as well. Let's take a look at our temperatures. For low temperatures Friday morning, we're going to be seeing in the Panhandle temperatures in the low to mid 50s. And same across much of the interior as well, 55 in Anchorage, 51 in the Gulkana area. Friday afternoon warms up quite nicely across Gulkana with temperatures hitting 80. A little cooler in the Anchorage area at about 64. And meanwhile, in the Panhandle, we do have a few 70s showing up, so nice day in the Panhandle as well. 59 in Kodiak as that frontal system starts to approach, so a little cooler than some of our interior areas. Saturday morning, we're looking at very similar temperatures, lower to mid 50s in the Panhandle areas, lower to mid 50s across South Central, and 52 Kodiak. Saturday afternoon, another nice day, 77 in Gulkana, 68 in Talkeetna, 64 in Anchorage, and a few 70s again in the Panhandle region, 62 in Kodiak Island. Let's take a look at your interior and the north coast. Your Friday morning temperatures will be in the lower 40s, actually up to about 51, 54 along the North Arctic coast. And the interior, of course, warmer. We're looking at upper 50s to lower 60s. Friday afternoon, temperatures at Fairbanks will be 82 and seen up to 85 in the interior. So, well, the upper 70s to mid 80s across much of the interior. Another nice day. But again, afternoon showers developing underneath those warm temperatures. Finally, along the North Arctic coast, we're seeing temperatures from about the mid 50s to lower 60s. Saturday morning, similar story as we saw Friday morning. 61 morning low for Fairbanks. Mid to upper 40s along much of the Arctic coast, and a few 49 along the Seward Peninsula. Saturday afternoon, slightly cooler. We're looking at temperatures about more in the lower 80s to upper 70s across the interior, 76 in Fairbanks. The North Arctic coast temperatures ranging from lower 50s to lower 60s. As we go towards your Bristol Bay area, your Friday morning temperatures will be ranging from, with that frontal system moving in, will be about upper 40s to lower 50s. Friday afternoon, again along closer to that front, we're seeing widespread cooler temperatures of about mid 50s to lower 60s, even 60 in Bethel, just because those clouds moving in. Saturday morning, fairly similar temperatures. We're looking at upper 40s to lower 50s across much of Bristol Bay. And again, with that system in place, Saturday afternoon, maybe a 60 here or there, but mostly upper 50s with low clouds. For your long-term outlook, August 2nd through August 6th, 6 to 10 days, we are expecting across much of the state temperatures are much more likely to be above normal than normal. So expect some of these warm trends to continue all the way up from Anchorage to Fairbanks, even across the Panhandle, and really mostly even in the Arctic coast, it's going to be slightly above average. So a warming trend. For precipitation, we're going to see drier than normal conditions for much of Anchorage through Northway and even up through Fairbanks, slightly above average as you go towards the North Arctic coast.